Welcome to US-based news channel. Most intense attacks of recent days have begun in Luhansk. It has been revealed that British Storm Shadow cruise missiles are now engaged in the region. Powerful explosions echoed one after another. Ukrainian air defense has achieved great success. Many Russian drones were shot down during the day. Plans of the Russian aviation units were again destroyed. Explosions and attacks occurred again in Bryansk, the border region of Russia. Important Russian military point in the region was hit. Level of panic and defeat has increased in the Kremlin. Many Russian military points were destroyed in line with the operations. Even in 24 hours, around 65 Russian military equipment and more than 610 Russian soldiers were neutralized. Course of the war began to push the Russian army harder than ever before. In recent days, it is seen that mutual attacks have increased even more in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions in Donbass. Moreover, although the Russian army has been making efforts in these regions for months, it cannot reach its goal. On the contrary, the heaviest losses and defeats for Russia take place in this region. In Donetsk, where intense conflicts have increased, many positions of the Russian soldiers have begun to be seized, especially in recent months. Thanks to this, the Ukrainian army was also mobilized on the nearby Luhansk front. According to the latest news, loud explosions were heard in the Luhansk region in the morning. It was stated that the target of these attacks was the deployment point of Russian soldiers. As a result of the attack, it was reported that the Russian military points were severely damaged. Moreover, within the scope of this operation, it was revealed that 2 British-made Storm Shadow missiles were used in the region. Fact that these attacks, which were investigated after these explosions in the morning, were carried out using powerful missiles, put the Russian army in a panic. It is also estimated that the hit Russian military barracks may have been seriously damaged. This is allegedly at least the third use of a Storm Shadow cruise missile by the Ukrainian Air Force. Moreover, all previous attacks were also carried out against Russian military points in this Luhansk territory. This shows that powerful missiles are engaged in the Luhansk region. In addition, it is not known exactly how much Kiev will receive from this type of missile. However, it is estimated that 200 tactical missiles, with a range of 250 to 560 kilometers, will be able to be procured, in line with the expectation of delivering 400 more missiles. This will continue to provide great advantages for the Ukrainian army. It was also announced that the attacks against this Luhansk region were at least the third in the last 4 days. Concentration on the region in recent days also shows that the expected counterattack can be launched from this point. If the Ukrainian troops advancing with great success in Donetsk reach these points, many Russian soldiers can be besieged thanks to a versatile and simultaneous advancing strategy. And this will decide the fate of the war on the Eastern Front. At the same time, attempts were made to attack by Russian troops at night. According to the statements, the Ukrainian air defense managed to destroy 25 unmanned aerial vehicles and 3 cruise missiles of the Russian troops in 24 hours. Air Force Command of the Ukrainian Armed Forces made statements about the destruction of these Russian military equipment, which attempted to attack from different sides of Ukraine. Within the scope of these attacks, 1 Lancet attack drone, 18 Shahd 136 131 attack aircraft, 2 Orlan, 10 tactical unmanned aerial vehicles, 4 different types of drones and 3 Kh-101, Kh-555, Kh-55 cruise missile destroyed. These Russian military equipment and ammunition, which crashed to the ground, remained in smoke and became unusable. Moreover, the Ukrainian Air Force made nearly 50 successful moves during the day to provide air protection during the conflict it entered. This leads to wasted operations of Russian aviation units and their military equipment to be wasted for nothing. It is seen that the mutual attacks in this war that has been going on for months now also affect the Russian lands. Every day, heavy defeats and losses are inflicted on the Russian side. This causes the explosions in Russian regions to increase and the attacks intensify. Moreover, this time, it was reported that the Ukrainian forces carried out an attack in the Bryansk region on the Russian border. According to the latest news, the Russian military equipment depot in Suzemsky in this region was hit. It was stated that this attack was carried out with an unmanned aerial vehicle. Flames were seen rising from this point where powerful explosions took place. As a result of the attacks on the warehouse, it was announced that 5 Russian military equipment was severely damaged. Efforts are being made to repair these military equipment that has become unusable. It is also known that the Ukrainian forces started to hit such important points with drones more frequently. On behalf of Russia, this requires increasing air defense and electronic warfare systems. However, although attacks have been carried out on Russian soil for months, the measures at many points are quite inadequate. However, if the defense is not strengthened, it will cause big problems to break out. On behalf of the Russian army, which is facing losses on the territory of Ukraine, it will be very critical to suffer defeats in their own countries. In addition, it was reported that Russian forces carried out more than 25 air strikes, 6 missile strikes and about 20 attacks with multiple launch rocket systems this time during the day. Significant damage was reported as a result of these attacks. It is known that the Lyman, Avdiivka, Bakhmut and Marinka regions were the focus of the attacks of the Russian troops. Although more than 30 conflicts took place in the regions, the Russian army could not reach its target. It is seen that these regions, where the attacks are most intense, only increase losses on behalf of Russia. Although intense clashes take place, especially on the Marinka and Bakhmut fronts, all efforts can be in vain. Moreover, the Ukrainian army continues to respond to these attacks. This time, it was stated that the Ukrainian defense destroyed 2 Orlan-10 type Russian unmanned aerial vehicles and a Supercam attack aircraft. Ukrainian Air Force also carried out more than 10 attacks on the points where Russian troops and military equipment were concentrated during the day. On the other hand, Ukrainian rocket and artillery units hit 7 important points of Russian soldiers and equipment, 1 Russian command center, 2 artillery units and 1 more critical military target. In line with the operations, many Russian military equipment and points were engulfed in flames. General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine announced the losses of Russia in the territory of Ukraine. According to the reports, Ukrainian troops managed to destroy 30 unmanned aerial vehicles, 1 multiple launch rocket system, for tanks, nearly 20 armored combat vehicles, 21 artillery systems, 8 vehicles and tankers of the Russian forces during the day. It was also stated that around 615 Russian soldiers were neutralized during the day. In this direction, Russia's total loss of soldiers has exceeded 199,000. It is getting harder and harder to compensate for these high loss numbers. In the long run, the importance of such losses will become even more evident. For these reasons, it is essential to pay attention to every step taken on the fronts. Decisions made by country leaders and commanders are much more important. In these days when the violence of the war is increasing, there is no margin for error for Russia. Otherwise, these losses will not be able to be compensated. This may cause the Kremlin to face the heaviest losses of recent times. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.